there's an unexpected death in the family. It's my extended family. And this kind of, I was wanting to maybe come out around this time, but this kind of forced me back under because it was just really bad timing. But it also kind of really fueled the idea that like I got to change things in my life, and I think I got to start saying something. But this person, she's only 23 years old, and she was 9 weeks pregnant, and she died of a pulmonary embolism. It was a complication from the pregnancy, a very common one. But it wasn't just that, because the whole pregnancy was extremely, extremely difficult. She'd already had some scares. She'd been to the ER. They were starting to like talk about some treatments of having a nurse come over once a week to do something for her. It was a really, really tough pregnancy from the get-go. I helped make a memory video for her funeral, so I'm getting all these video clips of her and pictures of her, and she's beautiful, and she was full of just vibrancy and life, and I feel like she's also, of course, Mormon, but I think she was able to live a bit more of an authentic life than I was able to, at this point, but I just can't help but just keep thinking about her. And even though I hadn't met her very many times, I still get really emotional when I think about this, because it was just really tragic and it was really unexpected. Nobody saw this coming, of course, But I just wonder, because I know she was raised like I was raised, and we were both good Mormon girls. And when you are married, good Mormon girls don't put off having children. You have children, and you have as many as you feel like you're supposed to. This is our purpose for existing. Going back to what we said before, like this one thing men can't do, this is what we are supposed to do. And I just can't help but wonder, if it wasn't for that, would she have, like with the health issues she had, would she have chosen to wait longer? Would she have chosen not to at all? Or if she was and things were going this badly, maybe would she have had the choice to try to end it out of concern for her life, I just wonder, if she wasn't Mormon, would she still be here? Would we still have her, And you can't ever know for sure. Things happen, It just hurts, though, to know, that this is... I just don't think she really had that much of a choice because of the belief system and the messaging for women around pregnancy. Like, even for health reasons, it's viewed as being really selfish if you don't want to have children, or like it's just, you're just trying to avoid discomfort or inconvenience. It's just never really talked about that it's your life on the line. And it was right after this that Elder Anderson gave his talk in conference that was like, first of all, against abortion, but also like telling women to have more children, right? And he tells a story specifically of a woman that had difficult pregnancies, right? But felt an impression that she should have another kid. And so she does. She has a very difficult pregnancy, but they get this beautiful girl. And in the hospital, she gets another prompting that there should be another one. So that she has this is her sixth now, extremely difficult pregnancy, but then they have another beautiful girl. And now their heavenly family is complete thanks to her listening to these promptings. And it just made me so angry, because I just thought, Elder Anderson is never going to tell a story like ours. He's never going to talk about somebody who died. It's just always told as like this, like have faith kind of a thing. And again, I feel like he specifically picked this story with this woman with difficult pregnancies to give the message that if you've had difficult pregnancies, or if you think you will because of health issues that you have, that is not a good excuse, or that it's an excuse, your health, your comfort, your discomfort. Like, these are selfish reasons not to have children. And here's a faithful woman who went through willingly this discomfort to bring children into the world. It's just so unfair that your own health is just a convenience for you, this is the messaging like around children. We're never really in charge of our bodies. And I mean, even the episode I did with Nicole, this was one thing she said. She had children before she was really, really ready because she felt like she was supposed to. And Jordan and McKay, their episode, and when she talks about her birth story, it was really horrible. I felt for her so much, and she also did it because she felt pressured that she's supposed to have children, and she just, all these awful things happened to her. That, and they could happen to anybody, but it just makes it sad when it's because you're feeling obligated to and you're being told to. And I just feel like once a woman is pregnant, like I mean not even just then, but before, like, we are objects. Our bodies are objects. And when we're pregnant, like, quite literally, we're a vessel. We're an object holding something else. And it's a potential life. It's not a life yet. It could be, but it's already worth more than the living human being who's here, who has it. I just don't get why it matters more, And you know what? She had a beautiful funeral. She was praised for this ultimate sacrifice that she paid to attempt to bring a child into the world, Nobody misses that baby. We never even found out. It wasn't big enough to even see what gender it would have been. It's a tragedy on top of the loss of her. She's the real tragedy, She's who we miss. She was a living, beautiful human being. She had a husband who loved her. She had siblings who loved her, parents. She was important. Anyway, it's just still really difficult for me to think about sometimes, just how callous like some people can be about it. And I mean, I even at one point, it took me a long time to get up the courage, but I'm just remembering the messaging that I was raised with, like abortions are for women who don't want the inconvenience of children, like it's just this big selfish thing. And not only that, but like, the church in the handbook, it allows for a termination of a pregnancy if your life is on the line. But that's not always something that you can know. Doctors don't always, if they knew, they would have said something, But until then, it's just a difficult pregnancy. And that's not a good enough excuse for her to say anything. And even in the handbook, like I looked this up, if a woman does want to terminate a pregnancy, she's got to get permission from the bishop. She's got to get permission from her husband. They've got to pray. Everyone has to feel like God is giving permission, and they need that physician. That's the only wild card that might be a female in this, is that a competent physician is saying that, her life is on the line, or that maybe the fetus is not going to be viable ever, that the woman just doesn't even matter. But you have to have at least 3 or 4 men deciding that it's okay on her behalf. And it just sickens me that like we can't even know, or even be believed if we are concerned